Oh no, I was actually muted there. I still had stuff muted from when I was recording stuff for the ModCon video. All right. Well, greetings and welcome, everyone. I'm Joffrey, the lead developer for Khiangaol, and I am in a PC now with, a couple members of the team and a couple other friends to discuss things. We're just here to hang out post ModCon and chat about things that we weren't able to get to during the live segment. No way, it's Lex Luthor. I am wearing the green, I guess. I've got green eyes too, so it works out. So, one thing that I did not have time to talk about, but was intending to, was the Balocracy. Just I just had so much fun talking about all sorts of other things. This, all right. Remerod, I'm gonna get you to guess. What do you think the Balocracy is? What do you think this government type is?
Okay, so I'm not on the team, and I
Yeah,
have no idea what the Balacracy is. But is it like a ball the way you dance ball? No, it doesn't. No,
yes,
it
yes.
is.
That is
Yeah,
correct. Yes, it's a
so
masquerade ball.
a
What does that mean?
masquerade ball.
What does that mean? What does it mean for the way the government works?
Wait, wait. So they are like masked in like a senate or something? No one knows who they are, or or do they? I have no idea.
Yes, more or less, yes. These people, their system of government is descended from ancient whack tribal customs where they choose to they have it's in a it's an aristocratic merchant republic. So it's like a rural merchant
Oh,
republic where all these like wealthy rural landowners come to the city, quote unquote, of Valporto to trade, and they all have custom made masks. It's like it's an industry
oh,
in
that's kind of cool.
Belize where like there are guilds of the mask makers who like rip the nobles off the patricians who by making them pay extortionate fees, and people will actively be like, I spent this much on my mask. I'm pretty cool actually. I can afford that.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of Silk and Silver Dev Diary, where they showcased some Italian stuff, and they had a bunch of masks for festivals and stuff.
Here, realistically, it
Yes.
will be represented by an extra demand for like among their merchants and nobles for fine cloth and jewelry. But that's not been done yet, and we're still working on their government reform. But they have a government reform that is it's pretty wonky right now. Way too good. Oh my god, 50%? Yeah, that's way too good. What the heck? The point is, they have unique government reform that only Khaleesian culture people are allowed to get. So if you swap to their culture, you can get it. But that gives you the title flavor for chief bureaucracy based on what your government rank is, with the idea that they get extra rural bonuses. Though maybe plus 5% is a little
It,
crazy. I don't know.
but they aren't tribal.
No, no.
No,
But
it comes from tribal times,
yes,
so
yes,
that's why
yes.
it's chief Balacracy, because it's an old tradition.
Yeah, it's like the Balacrata is the ruler of they're the
Yeah.
chairman kind of thing. But we will probably it's actually Eden. It's Eden who you may remember from Realms in Exile. If
Oh yeah, yeah.
Eden was the one who is his brainchild. He was really cooking one day and came up with this idea. So we may actually put some tribal pops of like the old culture and religion when we set that up in the Highlands. But for now, it's not important. Uh,
Yeah, but that's really cool. I must say, uh, like me and Joffrey, we were in the Realms of Exile team, and I remember we sitting down and talking just random stuff together, and you spoke to me about when you were a child, like you and your brother did some fantasy things, and now on the ModCon I see you and doing all this, and it was crazy. Like I had no idea that you guys were doing this total conversion.
well, while contributing to Realms, I was trying to build up my skill set so that I could make this happen someday. Because it's what I always wanted to do. And when I was always telling myself when EU5 comes out, I'll try and do something, and I finally became ready eventually. Luckily, I haven't had to do it alone though. I had lots of people world building, and now folks that are contributing to the project. God knows, Mags, who's here. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably still be having the game crash anytime someone tries to recruit mercenaries, because I accidentally deleted the
No,
mercenary
you didn't.
tag.
You didn't. That's part of the problem of the template
Okay, it wasn't my
that you
fault.
were using. Yes.
Yes, that's right. It was the template where there was a people had made a template for like total conversion, how to get like getting started, and it had deleted the mercenary tag. And if you delete the mercenary and the pirate tag, then the game will crash anytime a pirate or mercenary happens. So we were working on just Prax, and I was trying to test it. So I plopped down as Penmerglen, and I'm like, all right, let's fight some wars and get like see this actually work. And then it was just boop. The game would crash anytime someone hired mercenaries. Like, what's going on? And Mag solved that somehow. I don't know how he figured that
I
out.
don't know either, but I don't know.
uh,
Yeah, but this seems pretty awesome. Like, not to shout at another mod, but really the other total conversion mod I was excited for EU5 was the Envenar one, but now I've added this one to my list. Your showcase was really good, and this looks pretty interesting.
I've talked before with Jay actually about like the differences in our ideas of what we want to do with when it comes to fantasy total conversions, and we got pretty different things we're trying for. It's not really like stepping on each other's toes that much. Besides the fact that they're both fantasy, they're aimed for different reasons. You know, you have different reasons that you'd play them, and we'll have to see what they do for their underground stuff. I'm gonna be very curious. Maybe I should get into contact with them more and see what they're doing.
Yeah, for their dwarf and minotaur stuff, right?
But
or are you speaking about the normal dwarves and stuff?
yeah, I just mean like their subterranean gameplay in general, what they're aiming for. I've heard mixed rumors about what they're doing. They may not be I don't think they're certain yet themselves either. But one thing here that we're very keen on is there is no such thing as like a location that's like, oh, this is a dwarf hold topography. So it is just the correct place to be developing because it's just the place that's been built up before. So we've got currently all these caverns topography right now as a placeholder just filled in. Just caverns, stone. Do we even have? Oh, it's currently oceanic because I haven't come into the underground climates yet. And then without localization, Great Root Grotto, because alliteration is always superior. Never forget that. So
yeah,
the idea is that you've got any place can become developed like a dwarf hold kind of thing. So we use the location rank system for there's underground location ranks that we're cooking on, having different levels of that is independent of the vanilla surface ones, and there is no like you don't have like a dwarf road, a dwarf hold sort of things for topography. It's just parallel but different to the surface, where you have caverns, which is the equivalent of flatland because it's big open space. So you have sections like this here is going to be mostly caverns because it's one giant open cavernous space.
Yeah. So it's more like everything is caves, but you can like dig out and make a dwarven town or city there, but it won't change the environment.
Well, thank you, the Crusader, for I appreciate that I was able to be helpful. There's some things that are definitely wrong in there now as I've gotten better and learned things I made mistakes with. But I always appreciate hearing when I've managed to be helpful to folks trying to get into modding. But yes, Remrod, the idea is you could take any place. There will be sometimes I've had to be reined in. With Mags and Svesiv, or the people, they had to rein me in where I was trying to make some underground tiles in this mountainous area here. I wanted to put some underground stuff here because we were using it as a testing area for underground stuff. And I was like, what if we just make it a little, like some caves, just...
To be fair, we have had this idea. I mean, this is like internal stuff, but whatever. I don't give a shit. We have had this idea of making like a hybrid thing for Arkham and maybe elsewhere, and that could potentially be a thing where they have something that digs into the underground, where it's like an overground location, but also an underground location at the same time. But that's more work because then we need to develop that as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Uh-huh.
It's true.
So I have another question. I don't remember if you said this during the showcase, but how do you intend to release this? Do you want to like we did in Realms of Exile, like release one region at a time, or do you plan to make the whole world and then release everything?
The intention is that we will be releasing it bit by bit in the same vein that Realms in Exile taught me works well, and also the way that's back in the day, even Anbanar started with just a little bit of Canor.
Yeah,
it was for people who were there from the
exactly.
It was in a really bad state, to be honest, but it was fun anyway. It didn't need much. It was great, even though like tons of tags didn't have flags and stuff. But yeah, the idea is what we want to do. We really like there's a couple big crashes we're confused about, stability wise, that are a problem. But like for a first like 1.0, what the scope would be is Vestrand. So like this first area we're talking about, this like blacked out area because it's not set to be explored by most people yet. That area down there, which is called Naufar, and then the adjacent New World stuff, which will mostly be empty. So which includes Fjordland. So Fjordland, which its actual name is the Mist Coast. We call it Fjordland as a joke, and even made the culture group Fjordlander just as a joke. But they're the Mist Coast because the place is it's a place where the cold magical northern currents clash with the southerly warm currents, and this whole place is just full of mist. Yeah. So that would be the first one. You just forgot. Do I have to tell you everything, Max?
No, you want the Fjordland exists in the game right now. There's a region called Fjordland.
That's technically true, yeah.
It's empty, but
also, what was I? Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So whenever we actually are comfortable making a release to the workshop, it would be before then, though. We're not going to wait all the way until 1.0 to release it. We will have a beta, but right now there's some stability issues that have us a little like, some bug with when you have the game unpaused and you zoom in and out where it crashes pretty consistently, which is weird.
Also, the location finder currently crashes the game.
Oh yeah, if I pressed F right now to find, it just crash, which I don't know. But
I think it's Control V, but maybe it's F for you. I don't know.
Well, I'm not gonna press it.
Yeah.
Question: Is it simple to download a working mod from the workshop and use it to help my own mod? If you found a working total conversion mod from the workshop and you download it, as long as you can find the actual files for it, because it can be a little tedious to actually find where Steam stores your workshop files. If you can actually find those, there's guides to find that online. It would be a little confusing for me to explain it as opposed to what you'll find online. If you actually get to those files, you can, if you use Visual Studio Code, which I would definitely recommend you do, you can open it up in Visual Studio Code and search through all of its files to see what they do for certain things, how they make stuff work. That's how I started modding. I don't know what your level of experience is, but how I started modding way back when, feels like forever now, was just looking at mods. I looked at Godhersia, and I looked at Realms in Exile, in CK3, and I was just like, why does this thing work? Like, what is making this happen in game? Especially like earlier on when there's less files to sift through. It's an earlier stage of development, so there's less things I need to worry about. So like back in the early Realms in Exile, I only had like a few religions. So I'd look through the Realms in Exile religions file and be like, there's like these 3 religions. What makes these show up in game? And then I'd slowly work my way through that. Yes, board. We are in the Khiangaol Discord server. We're just in public VC. I'm talking over everyone right now, of course, but people are welcome to speak when there's a chance. Hello, hello, Aiden, as well.
No.
Yeah, I didn't realize how far along you guys got.
Yeah. I was gonna put a disclaimer to what you just said, Geoffrey. Is when you plan releasing your mod that is using stuff that other mods have done, make sure that either it's your own or you have permission.
Oh, well.
So don't just re-releasing other people's mods as your own, even if you slightly edited them.
Don't.
There's a disclaimer. It's good. It's good for learning. I'm doing the same. I'm using other stuff if I don't. Oh, how are they doing that?
Yeah,
but if you are actually, yeah.
But yeah, you gotta make it your own if you're taking something from someone else, like to understand how something works. Yeah, if you scavenge code from another mod, you better make it your own code and not just steal a religion. It's like, I've opened up Khiangaol and it's like, I really like the Imperial Creed of Banarian. I'm gonna just take that and change its name. Nothing else. This is now in my mod. Same icon description, everything, modifiers and everything. Yeah.
It's not quite black and white, but it's just something I wanted to preface because I care about that kind of stuff.
It's better, especially if you're making a mod that you plan to be a team and stuff, to ask for stuff, because then they can help you.
Yeah.
Rather than,
And like oftentimes you will find that people are quite generous. Like if you have something that you be like, oh, this is a cool system or mechanic, and if you ask them, there may be a decent chance that they would say, yeah, sure, if you credit us. And then it's like that's a big thing in CK3 mods. Like fucking AGOT has the like settlement mechanics from Realms or something. Because it's such a good feature, like such a good system, they couldn't replicate anything close to it, so they just asked permission and got permission and I copied it.
Mags, could you give Steopia the spy role too?
Cool? Okay, sure. Midgeman is not special anymore.
Well, it was never gonna last for long.
Yeah.
So I have a lore question. I remember in the showcase you were talking about there was this big empire that's been split apart now, and there was this guy that wanted to gather support. The yellow, that guy.
Yeah.
Is there like a Holy Roman Empire mechanic, or is it intended for this guy to like create an Holy Roman Empire kind of thing? Or did I misinterpret the whole thing?
There is, in fact, a in-progress Holy Roman Empire mechanic. It's works to some degree. I have not messed around with it that much because I don't play EU5 much. When I load up EU5 to actually play it, I'm like loading up Zimbabwe or something. Like, that's what I'm doing, or playing and then using as Krugalos here. But
I only played Theodoro in EU5 as of yet because I've been waiting for all the fixes and stuff.
It's in a pretty decent state. You should play more.
We gotta steal you for EU5 so we can stream playing it to build up hype. Stream playing Khiangaol. Also test that, like, how much it works for one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very certain that it will not insta-desync in multiplayer right now because we have done I've done some error clearing so that it runs somewhat smoothly, but there's still so much error spam.
It's very tragic, I know. But you gotta start somewhere.
It's to be expected because we have like literally all the vanilla geographic references are not present anymore.
Oh, that's the most annoying part, to get rid of all those.
Yeah. So I've found a tool on the mod co-op which was very useful that allowed me to look for like errors that are duplicating a lot. So like if I have an error that spams like 500 times in a year, I could just easily fix those. But there's still a lot of more niche ones that are present.
To
Anyway.
to explain the Concord of Vestrand, the equivalent of the HRE, the fellow I talked about in my big old lore yap, Haldwin Altwald, is the first Lord Protector of Vestrand. The Lord Protector of the Concord of Vestrand, which he, using a pre-established legal system for a Concord to exist, he was able to, along with his allies, the Mobrites of the Kingdom of Mabris, which is not going to be a kingdom. It's realistically, its government should be it should be like the Judicate from Vanilla. I'll just need to make a government reform that's suitable to replace it, and they'll be called the Chancellery of Mabris, or Grand Chancellery probably because it's a kingdom tier, I guess. They worked together to travel these lands, which made up much of the western section of the Beneric Empire before it's sinking into the sea, and they gathered people, through logic, bribes, extortion, just show of force, and legal precedents to force people to get together into this. Though realistically, the veil up here the veils are probably not going to be in it once all is said and done. They're a little too far away and isolated. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It sounds like also different in religion also.
they're the guy in question, the Joffrey character, who is like who my name is taken from, that lives in the Vale of Florin. He's a member of House of On, and he lives up here. And this family is rather distinctive, being this region of the Vale of Florin is one of the very few places where there's any worshippers of Olwe, the Mother of Mankind, left in Vestrand at all. And so that's why he has his very odd take on things, where he's like, the Beneric Empire is cringe.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone. Some of my relatives want to join this Concord. That is an L take. but
I mean, I will say the gods show that they were still real and had power.
Yeah, well, that was the point. The people stopped worshiping her because she was real, but she wasn't helping people. Is the point? She was very distant.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
She sits all like she's the kind of god who like sits up in her. She sits upstairs in her bedroom with the blackout curtains on, her colorful lava lamp, and like a big old blanket over her, but also like a very air conditioning on max while she's eating ice cream and just sitting there watching Facebook posts that her relatives have made. That's her relationship with her creations. And she sits there in the dark. So when they turned away from her, she's like, they'll make Snapchat posts again soon, right? They'll tag me again, right, guys? 1,333 years later. Oh, they're not coming back. And then
Very
she
well,
has a
then I
gamer
will
rage.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, but to the Holy Roman Empire question again, it's less that they want to restore the empire then, and it's more like in D&D Faerun, like the Lord's Alliance, like they want to maintain law and such kind of organization then.
It's much more a defensive pact than I am the new emperor, your new empire. Yes. We are reorganizing the Beneric Empire into the first continental Concord of Vestrand. No. Well, I mean, you can, but the idea is this is not like. I mean, it'll be as hard as Vanilla, and Vanilla's really hard to unite the HRE, so we'll.
I was gonna say the Renovati Imperi is not reforming the Beneric Empire; it's doing its own thing.
You'll be
filling the power vacuum.
Yes, you'll be filling the power vacuum by creating a new empire that is the Concord of
Yeah.
Estrand, and you'll get. It's not been implemented yet, of course, but you'll
Yeah,
get.
or named.
In time, the idea will be that you get your unique government reform. However, one key difference here. The idea is that you will not need to be a monarchy to be in charge. That any other government type could
Oh.
become the ruler, and that you could have a different version of the end result, a different version of the Concord, based on what government type you did. Because government types wise, there's a pretty distinct variety of government types in Vestrand. It's pretty around the place, and Tutorial Island is full of tribesmen.
Continuing on this line, there was a question that was not answered during the showcase, and is there a peasant republic?
Oh yeah.
That
That question was asked specifically by a person who knows the answer because he wanted it to be mentioned, if I remember correctly. But that being, I think that was Eden. I think that's Eden's.
yes,
okay.
it was Eden.
Yeah. Well, he made up some people, but he didn't he hasn't implemented them, and I'm gonna bully him until he implements them. There's supposed to be a peasant republic that's over here, but there's plenty of peasant republics. Honestly, the shattering of the continent has shaken up the social order a ton. So there's a fair few peasant republics, honestly, and I'm probably going to, because of that, make a unique title flavor set for peasant republics specifically. I did. I watched bored on the subject of Alki. I actually watched the Alki trailer before it was ModCon because I'm in the planning section, so people post their videos there. As for but I mean, as far as peasant republics that are actually implemented right now, there's there's two of them. There's the Republic of Peebleshire, which is one of the first places I ever ran a tabletop game. Eventually their flag's going to be a chicken. That was one of the first places I ever ran a tabletop game. Back in high school, I had a single red D20, and I'd pass it around between the lads, and we just rolled at lunch break. That's how we played the game, and we just got up to shenanigans.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. So fun memories. And that's why it's situated in this area, which is this is the land of heroes. There's a tag that you'll be able to form here called the Hero Realm of Angvald, which is this ancient, more tribal,
historic one.
It's this ancient tribal, historic homeland of adventurers. That's yeah. But and another one.
There's also Halago.
Oh yeah, Halago. Yeah, that's actually a good one to mention because it's in here and it's got this ridiculous population of 82,000 people on these islands. Oh my god, there's up to 13 levels of salt RGO in this goddamn.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They need to get off
I think wait. I think it's
salty place.
The other location is wool, right?
No, it's fish.
Oh no,
they might make a lot of money.
That's good.
Yeah,
if they can live.
Yeah,
they can eat.
Yeah. I think the idea behind that was that it's isolated. I realized that Eden had some lore where they also have the islands in front of Laventure, and it's kind of like a two-state solution. Sorry, one-state solution. Where it's two states that are at odds but are united under one tag.
I was supposed to give them a vassal that is this land. I forgot about that. Also, Halago, which currently has the a pink version of the hecking Burgundian cross, which I'm pretty sure Eden did himself.
No, I did it to troll him.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking salt. Wait. So what you do here is you set up a fishing peasant training grounds. When is this a thing?
That's an estate building. That's an estate building. That's what you get when you give them weapon rights.
Since when?
Militia.
Wait,
that's
really?
the thing, because they removed peasants can have weapons. So you can't. There's no longer this modifier that these peasants can have weapons. It's just they allowed a peasant training ground, which means that instead of peasants allowed weapons, created an extra demand for that kind of stuff, and now they just made it a building. So that's the peasant training ground, which then creates a demand for. It actually doesn't create a demand. I thought it would
Yeah,
create
it
a
doesn't,
demand
which is a little weird.
for a weapon.
But it just
But yeah,
it just
It-
yeah,
it
towns
replaces
and
that.
rural settlements for a single one as well, which is I think that's cool.
yeah, like manpower, which is interesting.
Yeah, mind
Because
you, you
early
need
game,
some
that's actually
wealthy
quite rare.
peasants for that. Like the only way you're getting this is if you've got like very much free subjects.
Yeah.
Your peasants actually have money, which
Which Peasant Republic has. They said with 100 free subjects.
yeah, that's probably like the only place I could have clicked on in the map that would have this. Because like Khalid doesn't have free subjects. Hell no. I don't know. They're a republic, but those peasants got to get to work mining gems in Esmeralda. I think it's called Esmerado. Yeah, they gotta dig up the mines in the Esmerado gem mines for the masks. Because these guys do have max free subjects. Also, I always forget until I scroll down here about the magic versus mundane and iconoclast versus pragmatism thing.
Yeah.
The peasants are losing money from estate building upkeep, though.
That's not good.
This local assembly costs them an entire 1 maintenance.
That kind of stuff might fix when you unpause. Actually, you have unpaused already.
It has a bit unpaused, yeah. They just don't make enough money for that.
No, it's 12. Like it's 1383. It's like a year after
They
game
just
start.
need some more buildings, and it will work.
Yeah,
itself.
I mean that's again like stuff like we have not done any stuff like that. It's broad strokes currently. Set up stuff so that it looks nice from what but we have not done any balancing. We have done the RGOs recently. We have had the lovely Swiss that goes through and plays this what I think.
Did you just call him the lovely Svesu?
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to find some sort of adjective.
Like he's a lady at the ball or something. The lovely Svesu. Yes. We can say that because he's now off on his trip, so we can talk talk whatever smack we want while he's gone. But, I mean, peasants like republics would still of course be broken down into different social orders. It's just the main thing with a peasant republic is just that there's more rights to the peasants. That's the main thing. Like the lower classes have more freedoms is the main thing. It's not like the peasants are always ruling it. It's just
there's also a law reason that there is more peasant republics.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Can I see just by looking at? Do they even have it set? Oh god, I forgot the Latin language. I need to fix that. They got their preset. That's like Catholic theocracy, so they use court language Latin.
I don't think you can see it, but do you know the debug mode? You can just control click.
I can look at the schools. I need to see the.
Yes, it was on the right menu up there, but under country. One down. No, one up.
Religious schools.
Yeah.
There we go.
But I don't think anybody follows him.
What are the religious schools? Are they like a?
Well, you're in religion groups right now. You must click.
Oh my goodness. Religious schools. There we go.
There we go.
And even then, it's not set. Huh.
Weird. It's not.
Well.
So yeah.
Oh.
Nerd school? Did I see nerd school?
Yeah, it's a placeholder for the idea.
You did not see nerd school. Nope.
Just check into them, you will see it.
Yeah.
No?
I'll start observing voucher tickets. So the nerd school. Yeah. The Imperial Creed works off of the r_school. They work off of the Muslim religious school mechanics. Let's disable observer and actually take.
I just a short jump in, and the creeds were this kind of religion where they worship ancestors and go against the goddess.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the anti-theist faith. That's what the iconoclasm versus pragmatism value is about as well. It's like, are they actually like hating all like heathens that are worshipping gods, or are they more like pragmatic about it?
Mm-hmm.
There's like different ways about how to do it, but on the whole, they reject the gods. They accept that they're real, but they just say they shouldn't be worshipped because it's bad.
So they're
anti-theist.
Yes.
Yes, they are anti-theist. The Imperial Creed starts off the description. The Imperial Creed, an anti-theist tradition founded by Venarian, the first emperor. So they Yeah, they believe that just it's not that they disagree with the existence of gods. They just say they're bad and you should stay away. They're bad news, buddy. They're gonna use you. They're gonna...
They might also not call them gods, but call them like powerful beings or demons or something.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's cool, lore. The elves destroyed the first human empire.
Yeah, the first empire of humans in Vestrand was destroyed by elves who were just allowed to do that by Olwe, the mother of mankind, and they were preaching that they were doing it in the name of multiple gods, other than her. But they were preaching, they were saying like, oh yeah, they're doing like they're destroying it and like subjugating the humans in the name of a pair of gods, the gods of destruction and control. Respectively.
Okay, then it completely makes sense why the humans reject her. It's like you did nothing.
This was like this empire was the first empire forming in this region out of the tribal age, and this man who was a mercenary fighting in those wars, this tribal mercenary band roaming around the place fighting because they just liked adventuring and stuff. He was half Prax. He was half of his ancestry was from the Prax people, and half from the Germanic people. The Hargals of this coastline.
We're all dead mostly.
Yeah, the land got sunken, so their people now are scattered to, like, what's left of them got scattered over here and all around the place. There's going to be an absolute load of minorities set up later because like this whole continent is going to be the most pop dense place on the planet because of all the minorities
that makes sense.
Fled. So there's going to be tons of wrong culture in the end. But
how fast was the collapse again?
It took a year. It took a year.
Okay, so
it's only now that it is fully stopped. All the tremors have fully stopped as of now. But like over the past couple months, it was still like you would have quakes a little bit.
Coastline changing. Yeah. But the capital sank pretty immediately.
Oh yeah. That was the capital and a couple other places of interest were like immediately nuked. So.
Oh, deliberately by the god. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the capital was like here someplace, and it's just gone. I don't even have a name for it. I will be completely transparent. I never even came up with a name for the place because it's just gone.
I have an idea. Wait, I have an idea. Call it Hauptstadt.
Hauptstadt.
You know why? You know why?
Hello, Stardeath. What a funky name you have. Yeah. Greetings. What Mags? What does it mean?
It's literally just capital in German.
Oh.
Just call it the capital city.
That's where the term capital comes from.
I mean, yeah.
We're gonna be renaming a couple things. Like this is a terrible map to look at because we haven't adjusted the climates as much as the other stuff, like vegetation and topography and all that. But we're actually just today we were talking about changing Mediterranean because there is no Mediterranean here to just call it idyllic. That was something Mags just came up with, and it's like, why didn't I think of that?
I mean, yeah, that'd be good. But you could also name it after the former region that was you called the climate around the former sea, because wasn't there a sea even before?
Yeah,
we did talk
like
about
that region.
We did talk about it, but that would mean that it would be called Lavender.
No. There's actually a Spanish name for the sea. Something with a sea. I forgot. But the reason why we haven't done that is because we want to use it elsewhere, and it's kind of weird if we.
Okay.
The Floran Vale is gonna have Mediterranean climate probably, but it's in between mountains, so calling it after like a sea doesn't quite.
Okay, then never mind. Yeah, you're right. Idyllic sounds like a good idea. Yeah, it's just an idea. It's like that would make sense to call it that, since that's why Mediterranean's called the way it is.
The inland body was called the Seleno. In Empalmis. That doesn't mean that it can't be called Lavender Sea in like English. In Empalmis, it's Seleno.
As for the Italy equivalent, it would be these islands, the Shield, the Scudo.
So those used to be mountaintops, weren't they? Or
that's correct. Still are in plenty of places.
Because the rest, but the rest of the land was sunk or collapsed into the water.
Indubitably, this place functioned. The realms here, these people brief preface on the nature of the Romance language family, because we put thought into like language families. So language families. This is one of the funniest things about this setting is you
Oh
have the
boy.
Lithphonic language family. The Lithphonic language family, which is the Romance group, is a result of humans or just people. It is both the language of the Lithrati, because the Lithrati, the rock people, all are Latin. And this is an important thing about them. They all have Latin. Only
Okay.
some of them will have like veered a bit, but they're so like rigid in their ways usually that it's rare that many of their cultures will have like like floated away from their original language. And even then there will always be an original version of their culture that keeps the just it's just Latin, but
Yep.
fancied up. So anyway, people that have been influenced by, and then the Lithrati themselves use the Lithphonic language family. So Iberians and the French, they are all. Yeah, we've got the Empalmese, which is the Lithphonic
Yep.
language spoken in the Junction with its various dialects. The Chiccar, which are the French. The Scudiero, which are the Shields, those are the Italians. The Orian language, which is the catch-all term at the moment for the just the Literati, as the Orians were their that was the highest order among their people. They had a very stratified society, and the gold people were at the top.
Yep.
Hence the color.
It was called the Aurian Empire.
Yes, they had
So-
an Orian Empire. Yes, and the Argovani.
That wasn't.
are
Was
the
that native
Romanians.
to this region, or are they from somewhere else?
They're from off to the south. They're
Oh, okay, it is off map. Okay, I was trying to remember.
This
you know.
section here, there is a giant basin with that is desert. It's a giant desert basin that's got most of the world's gold by a wide margin in it. Gold is relatively rare outside of this place, and the climate is terrible. But yes, Latin rock people. It's funny. This place used to be the center of this empire, and they would sprout out to the east and west from their giant basin. They had magical means because they literally had the goddess that created them, who was the goddess of architecture herself. Crethona is her name, yes. And she would actively help them devise all sorts of wondrous inventions, such as gigantic Elden Ring, yes, Remerod style lifts. They had the grand lift of Dectus and rolled on either side of them that they'd use to get in and out of the basin to the east and west. But due to shenanigans, they long ago fell away during a barbarian invasion, and most of the Orians are now dead, and people have not managed to get back into the basin ever since, until now, where there was a passageway discovered through caverns in Archahim, this place, because these people, they're going to be called the Constellarchy of Archahim, as they're the pope of their religion. They have been building their city into the mountain itself as a vault, trying to hide away they hoard magical knowledge, so they're just trying to like make more and more vaults underground. But then they found their way into an underground cave, and then explored that cave, and eventually discovered their way to the south into this basin. And so now the world knows, and that's what causes the Renaissance to happen, as people are discovering this lost land. Yes.
So did their god also abandon their people, or what happened to those people's god?
Oh, well, she eventually left because she was moving around from group of Litherati to different groups of Litherati to try and
okay.
Because the Litherati were like designed by her former lover, a really schemy motherfucker called Sequidoc. Never try and pronounce his name. No, like it's terrible. It's a terrible name. I love it, but it's like no one can pronounce it. It's terrible. They were designed by him specifically to try and mess with Olwe, like inborn into their like they were coded that way basically. So, she was going around the place trying to get them away from that to be passionate about life like she is. Because a lot of them were just designed to be really emotionless, like efficiency kind of people, and she was starting to convert them away from that. So she converted the Orians to be very passionate about rulership and art and people in general, and so they were a lot more expressive than most of their kin. And the same with the the Iron people, the Pharaons, who live on these, like some of them live on these islands. I think it's skin tone. It's
Mhm.
like this grayish
Yep.
color. They became passionate about forging of tools and weapons and conflict. She didn't much care if they fought or not. Just that they were passionate about something.
She just wanted to be
and
passionate.
that
Yeah,
they made
yeah,
things.
makes sense.
They made things, and you're happy to do it. But by the time she got to the place that is now Tuport, it's got this little place called Silver Ridge. It used to be known as Serenitas. It was the capital of the Silver People, the Argions. And
Mhm.
by the time she was there, Benarion was rising, creating his empire, and he found her here because she was a god. She was like the god who was hanging out in this area, and people knew about this. And so he marched his army there, and there's a lot of rumors as to what happened, but many claim that he butchered her in combat. He had a one-on-one duel with her, and his magic he had all his magical gear that the Marble people had created for him, seemingly with the intention of actually destroying their creator. They're destroying their own mother.
Wow.
But no one knows
Wow.
for sure what happened to her. But she hasn't been seen since. But people think that he cut her down there, and that the Silver
And
People-
Venarion,
Yeah.
was he the emperor that
That feels
rejected
against.
the
He was.
gods?
He
That
was.
feels almost like he just killed her.
He didn't
so
create
there
the
wasn't
gods.
So he killed her
created
so
the
there wasn't an
Imperial
example of a god who wasn't evil.
Yeah, yes, exactly. She was like the one that was chill, and she was just like hanging out and not really doing much other than helping her people. And then, yeah, what people believe happened is that he cut her down to prevent any opportunity of her turning on people. He wouldn't give her that chance.
Yeah, he
So-
does not
Also,
seem like
he
a
was
good guy at
friends
all.
with
I already
Olwe. This was
suspected that,
arguably
but-
worse for him, was that she actually really liked Olwe. They would nerd out together in Olwe's ice palace up north sometimes.
So I have a follow up on the religion,
All right.
the creed, because I think of real life. We have a real life religion where a person rejected the gods. Buddhism. Well, some Buddhists believe Buddha is a god, many don't. Like he rejected the gods and wants to create a realm for mankind. Is this kind of like that? Is the Benarion like a saint or a Buddha, or is he just like a venerated ancestor?
The term that
I think
they
we were getting
use-
into that and got. Yeah.
Go on, Max.
I was going to say, I think we were getting into that and then got derailed. Then now you can go. We were about to say it.
The term for people that they, yeah, I guess we were. The term for, that's why we're on Tupor, yeah. The term for the people that they venerate these are people to idealize, are the paragons. There are paragons now who are just people that have attained this status, like in a theocratic sense of like you live up to the ideals of the religion and this ancient paragon of the past that is like one of the main ones. So you get the title now, and you can now go around preaching as a missionary work. And so they don't believe like this is not like Tiber Septim. Benarion ascended to become a god of man. He will free us all from the tyranny of the other gods. We must destroy them all. The ninth divine, that sort of thing. It's just a case of they praise these people's these paragons' ideals and the things that they did in life, and try to emulate them. And people, the term, like, loosely, the term for like these priests that are able to cast spells of holy magic are loosely, the term is emulant. That's been working with that they emulate these paragons and are able to channel magic. Some people claim that this magic exists because those paragons actually have power. Other people claim that, some people are like, oh, this means they're truly ascended and they have power now, and you're channeling their will. Other people claim that it's because the person themselves believes it strongly, and they within themselves make it happen.
Yeah,
And that
with
is a little
magic.
different from normal magic. I will be the
So-
secret lore is that both are kind of right.
So
I'm just saying
it's
this
basically
live. It's like,
Buddhism.
There are many different theories on how like what happens after death, though. There's no like in the Imperial Creed like, oh, and then you will be reincarnated like this. That is like the canon. There's lots of different theories that people have.
The way I have thought of is
Drac
to
Scry is not the best place. I know you're sad. Listen, the oaths of hearth and home is a chill religion and all that, but right now, the Civil War and the fact that when we eventually add it, there's going to be an invasion from the north of the god of mastery who is going to be marching down with his Elden Ring ice lightning sword TM going to kill your ass. I don't know if it's the best place to be.
So, just a
So are the gods kind of
concept-wise-
like Greek gods? Like
Greek
they're
gods. Yeah.
yeah, they like are physical beings.
So yeah, they're physical beings and they have like Greek god levels of power usually. The person in question that is like this god of mastery, this Tarkov person, my little brother's second OC that he made when he was a little kid is really he's so cute. And he still has it as his like Steam handle and stuff to this day. It's beautiful. His thing is that he was the firstborn, like Primarch, if you know Warhammer, the shorthand. They're the prime. He's the Primarch of the Slavs, and his thing is that he the other firstborn, because they're like demigods. Firstborn are normally and some races do and some races don't have these firstborn people, but most of them are immortal. They just live until they die. Tarkov gets reincarnated. He dies of old age and then he lives again and is reborn. No one knows how it works, but he just does that. There's not been any explanation. He has refused to elaborate any time on how exactly
Honestly,
it works.
that's a better form compared to the other ones who just die.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's crazy powerful as a result of it. So that's why people sometimes refer to him as the god of mastery, because he has lived 100. This is his 100th lifetime. He has lived 100 lives, and he remembers all of his experiences. That's all that's really known about it. So he gets to keep all that knowledge and build up on it. So he is like ridiculous when he actually wants to fight. So that guy is coming south, and he's having an epic battle. There's going to be a game start war set up here in this. There's a mountain pass here where there'll be a game start war called the War That Never Ceased, and it will cease eventually, because it's called that because it didn't stop due to the shattering of the continent, shattering death. So once that's finished, if he wins, then he's gonna march south and just like slam into all these poor people. And the main thing is, part of the reason that he's gonna like be able to win is because there's the civil war that currently it's been over, it's finished. But at Game Start, there's a civil war in the Polish land, the Zalicians, Polish inspired. So it's taking a lot of the people around here that are actually relevant powers into this conflict. So no one's able to like send much in the way of support to defend the north. Evil Vulcan? I don't know. He did like Vulcan's immortal unless you kill him though, and then he comes back.
A follow up on that, as someone who comes from more CK3 background and doesn't have that much in depth of Europa Universalis 5, how will you mechanically present a living god on the map in gameplay mechanics? Because in CK3, you can make more in depth to characters and stuff, but EU5 doesn't have as in depth.
Character traits exist. You can add health traits as well, commander traits. He realistically, he's probably just not going to come back when he dies. There's some people that theorize that his 100th life is his last one. So he's probably not going to come back. But he will.
If he does, we just
mechanically
recreate a new
convenient.
character. Even if he does come back, we just make a new character, call him Tarkov, and give him a trade.
Exactly.
For the actual gods, that is more of a different question. Because the problem is in EU5 currently, people you can't make people fully immortal. They still die from like accidents and war and stuff.
Lots of triggers are required for that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Realms in Exile, it was an
Mhm.
internal struggle.
So-
Gutherja as well. Oh wait, no, you don't have immortal people in Gutherja that you need to worry about for that. Yeah, like
We
Senware,
have
but-
some, but we have made the liches. Oh, you mean where they can't be killed at all?
Yeah, because like the liches can get killed by
Um,
stuff.
Yeah, no. Everything that we have on the map currently, eventually there are some entities that it'd be more technically they die but would come back later, but we would probably do that by just recreating the character
he's fine.
file. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
a side question, so what happened to the other firstborn? Because aren't the firstborn for each of the cultures of humans? So what happened to the other firstborns?
So, the culture groups, yeah. Jaonic culture group, which is the Celtic inspired one.
Jainoic.
Okay,
Jainoic.
it needs to be changed. Yeah, the Jainoic. It's spelled wrong right now.
No, it's spelled correctly. You just misspoke it. It literally says Jainoic. You just misspoke it.
That's an I.
Jane New York. Yeah, that's actually correct.
See?
But you said Jaonic, which means the N is at the like the O and the N are replaced. But whatever.
Okay, so Jainoic, Jainoic,
Yeah.
Jaonic. What are you even? I don't know.
Jane-
There's a guy called Jano. There's a firstborn called
Yes.
Jano. He disappeared a long time ago. So that's what happened to him. He disappeared a long ass time ago. Like way in the tribal age. No one even knows where he went. He was always like a brooding person. He kind of like kept to himself, and
Okay.
people say that he was like gifted with prophecy. So people don't like people
yeah,
think that
I'd
he
go
kind of
hiding.
slunk off to just like be sad. The more accurate answer that people don't know, like in world that I tell people, is the fact that he has a weapon because he was made up. He was made up by my half brother, my little like when he was just a little itty bitty guy. He made up this guy because he heard me like talking about world building stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I want to try," and he made up a character, and he made up this
Aw.
guy Jano, and Jano, he quote 'cause, like he's OP. He's like he's crazy because he was made up by this kid. So his thing is that
Even
he
more fun.
has a sword, and he said sword. Like this is his sword. He has a sword called his Black List, and the Black List it's like a black sword, and what he said next, the sword has written on it, it contains every knowing.
Oh my goodness.
What does that even mean? It has
What does that
every
mean?
knowing. So,
You could do a lot of fun stuff with that.
So the point is that he just like knows everything. So what I've been going with is the idea like everything that is known by someone, he also has access to, and it makes him really depressed. So he just left. He's alive somewhere, and sometimes I actually write like localization in game from his perspective because he knows. He knows
Yeah.
it. It's a knowing, so he knows it.
No, that makes sense. Oh, cool. Yeah, that would make me
Hargal-
very depressed. Yeah.
Yes. It's
So
a
so
noble
is
dark
is
setting. So like the setting is it's like described as noble dark, whereas like it's depressing. Like there's a lot of bad stuff, but for every like sad thing, there's also a good thing. Also, for every triumph, there's a tragedy. For every yeah.
I will make sure that there's a morally good faction to play as. Don't worry.
Yeah, there are just objectively good people, and the
Okay,
objectively good
good.
people can win. But there's also like heinous people, and they've often won as well. Like there's a god that is just the god of destruction, and he was destroyed, and this is what happens when gods die. Like actual gods die, they get broken up. They don't like die. Their essence just gets shattered. And when he was shattered, he was forged into the elves. So all the elves have the essence of the god of destruction inside them, and they love to break stuff as a result. So yeah, that's kind of depressing because it's hard for them to build a functioning society. They have done it sometimes, thanks to Vector Remerod. he's hung out and like done world building stuff. So he came up with the ones that have like forced themselves over time to find ways to get over their nature, Parthenax style, and it's had
Yeah, I was about
varying
to
levels
say,
of
like,
success.
if you are inherently destructive, how do you build a society? Yeah,
They managed
I-
to. It's
I-
just
very
really
hard.
hard. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
just made me think of the Bilbo, the cartoon ones, elves, where they are more goblin-like.
hmm
Oh,
So,
gosh,
sorry, you're
Mitch
saying the
Man,
hard-
what? Mitch Man's in the chat. Hello, Mitch. Yes.
How did you find that stream? You didn't advertise it anywhere.
I pinged
That's
him.
crazy.
I pinged him.
Oh,
Remember? In here.
yeah, I didn't realize that you linked that stream there. I
Yeah.
forgot.
So yeah. Now he has the spy role, so he can spy on us. He can peek in. So Hargal, who's the progenitor of the Hargals, like culture group, and those people, like they're the Germanic ones, and he was the guy who was behind making the first like civilization in the continent, where he had set up shop in this place that's currently now set as a corridor because he like don't actually want to make use of it. It's bad. Like this place is cursed and stuff. He was trying to build the city here, and the city of that's now it's Luchtenlach. And it's been abandoned for a long time now, as the elves came and destroyed it, and set up shop in the ruins of his realm around this lake, where you have the elves of Darzagar, Kalraven, Vashkar, and then Dumira.
Oh, they still exist. They weren't wiped out. Okay.
The elves are still here. They just
I would have thought that the Second Empire would have wiped them out on principle, but yeah.
No,
It's
they
a bit
never-
far away, you know.
yeah, it's really
from the
far away
heartlands.
from their heartlands.
Wait, where was
So-
the Empire actually? Where was their whole region?
It was
held?
based so it started on the coast and then it moved westwards, south and north. So this was like one of the furthest away reaches they can get to, and also it's very wooded and marshy and just dangerous. The elves are also very powerful. They're very powerful combatants because all elves are capable of learning magic. So it just wasn't worth it to fight them a lot of time.
Okay.
And they, by the time that Benarian himself reached here, he died before like they could have properly been fought, and he was the one who had a vendetta against them personally. So instead, they ended up just being trading partners for their weird magical stuff for the most time. And
I would have
occasional
thought that a
mercenaries.
lot more people have grudges against them, but okay.
How does magic work? Is it more like in D&D or World of Warcraft or?
Your mana is willpower. Willpower from a Dungeon Dragon sense. Willpower is your mana source. You use your willpower to conjure up the power within you, and your intelligence is knowing how to use your will to actually force your will on reality. That's the magic system in a nutshell. It's pretty
It's
pretty
two
open,
factors.
considered.
So in D&D there is like a weave of magic, or is it like they use the magic of their souls, or?
There is some power to influence reality within all people as they were created by divine beings. Elves just have the most because they were forged from a dead god. Though I say dead, but again, you can't properly kill the real gods, so Aolenti, that god of destruction, is still alive within all the elves. And some people, there's some insane like elves that want to like gather up all the elves. Like they want to gather up their entire race and like just sacrifice their entire
Reforge
species
them,
to reforge
yeah.
him. Yeah, that's unironically what some of them want to do.
I mean, theoretically, if you got
That's
enough of
kinda
them,
cool.
with magic and enough will, you could do it. Yeah, that sounds.
But
yeah.
yes, it would be
You
possible.
all the elves to make a god.
That's not something that's like up in the air. It's something they could in fact do if they did
Yeah,
that, which
yeah.
is like maybe I could see us making
I mean-
something for that eventually, but like Jesus, man, that's terrifying.
Maybe not on release, but a bit deeper. in.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, how is this going to be the starting region that you release, or how much are you going to try to get working for your release of the version of the mod?
This is all we need for like a beta version.
No, we need Theodora too.
That's far.
But
away.
technically, oh, Theodore.
The Crimean
Is it
Goth like
Jordan
people are like
then?
they're a ways away.
But the Goths, man.
Oh, actually, wait. No, they'd be up here somewheres probably if we
It's the
had
Georgian, isn't it? Isn't there some Georgians in there?
because yeah, the
Yeah, that's
Georgians still a Georgian underscore culture. I didn't show that like we haven't replaced this yet, just like we haven't replaced removing. But yeah, the Georgians are like they're gonna be one of the rare remnants of the Greek like themed original human tribe. So if we wanted to, if there was to be like a Gothic culture, it would probably be like up here. I think about it like the Gothic.
No, on the
feudals.
island.
On the island, right down there.
Island.
Oh, yep.
No,
It would be on here actually. Now I think about it, because
Yeah.
Just add that in. Yeah.
give me an island where I can stay and build up my Gothic culture.
this island right now is Jainori, which is a hybrid culture. Jainiok and Zantori. All the cultures, all these humans have like their original human tribe culture, and then their just cultural association. So these are people from the original human tribe of Jaino, instead of Alnuri, who became influenced by the Zantori, which is it was another vast realm that had its own religion.
Oh, that's how the naming works. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. Put them on the island.
So you stopped at Hazor. What's the other human tribe?
Yeah. Just to continue for a second, Remrod, like so for like people's reference, what Remrod and Aiden just did, where they're like, "Well, put the Goths there. Let's just like put them there. Give me my island." And it's that is how like the world building like planning gets done. Be like, what if there was like a group of Gothic like Crimean people? It's like, well, we got space here. We could fit them in here someplace, and it would
Well,
make
yeah,
kind of
that's
sense
how
based
God
on the
in
cultural
there.
movements, because it's like, oh well, the people of this cultural ancestry are here. Some are here. We could make some lore for why some of them are here and stick them over here and just have some fun with it.
I mean,
Why
that's
not?
how God
In-
Herja works. So yeah.
In EU5, the Goths primarily only have one location.
Yeah, it's only the one.
I think
tile.
there might be a little bit in the location next to it, but
we
that's
have
enough.
we have a Visigothic culture as well, by the way.
Wait.
The Ulfikar are our Visigoths. They.
I was gonna say, if he wants to just like have something that's not present very much, the Shikara also an option. Finding French people who got obliterated and have just a bunch of islands.
The Shikar used to be like a powerful subject region. Of
They
the
are
American Empire, but
unlucky.
they were just like,
Yeah.
they were slapped.
They,
off
they
the
used
face
to
of the
they used
planet.
to extend like further southeast as well.
Yeah.
That was all part of.
It was like
I
a
get.
lot of this area. That was
Wow.
all like the French culture with like variations.
Was
of it.
Cali Zan, that island, that mountain region, was that like above? That was like the whole ridge, and then there was a bay below, or
Yeah.
how was the original sea?
the
trying to
the
imagine.
inland sea reached up to Valporto. Valporto here, the capital of Caliz, was always on the coast. In fact, this island of Esmeralda, where they have a very special diamond mine, emerald mine, was always an island too. It reached out to here, like up here was the inland sea,
But-
the Lavender Sea.
Oh,
And
so it
this
didn't.
was
It
also an
didn't
island.
reach the coast.
So this was
It
also
didn't
an
reach the
island,
coast?
Varus was also an island, and then this here was a ridge line. This place used to be a ridge line that was the northern section. So Caliz did not reach the ocean.
I thought. I
was
think
in-
Varus was not. I thought Varus was not an island
No, Varus was.
But they
It's
got
these ones that weren't.
claimed by.
These islands.
I
weren't.
thought Varus was one as
These
well,
are the-
and Varus got claimed because. No,
Varus is the one that was already a subject. Yeah, Caliz already had Varus and Esmeralda as subjects. These islands here were like they were land that was Calizan. Like actually no, it wasn't even that they were Calizans living there. It was Leventian cultures that lived here. But then when the shattering happened, the Calizans just like stormed in and took them for strategic positioning and moved in pops. So it'll be very mixed population wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All Celtic cultures on islands? No, Drac. No, silly Drac. No. There's Celts inland too. The Welsh are here. The Cadseth, which they'll be getting cooked on theoretically shortly if William wants to do it, as he claims. These the Kadzeth culture are they need to be split up into different smaller cultures, but they are here. They're Welsh themed. They're Celtic. There's going to be a bunch of them down in this area as well that are Janiok. But they've been subjugated a lot, and their language has drifted a ton as well. That's the story of a lot of them, that they're Celtic in origin and they've been drifting a lot, and there's only so many of them that are still true to their roots. Other ones. Al-Nuri. The Al-Nuri. I don't remember his real name because he had like the stereotypical like the Arabic guy, Arnazir, who like cooked on him, gave him like a stereotypical super long Arabic last name that means like the wisest, most pure ancestor of the divine way and the purest soul or some shit like that. Like
nice.
So Al-Nuri, the Al-Nur man himself, he's the progenitor of the Arabic people. The Greeks lived here. And they had a big old spanning empire, and the Arabic people lived in this basin that eventually became the Orion Empire. So the Arabic people were here preemptively, and then when the Orions showed up, they subjugated them and locked away the Al-Nur guy in prison. Spoiler alert. He's one of the firstborn that's still alive, where he got imprisoned by the Orion Empire in one of their gigantic underground cities that had a vault. And he's just there in prison. No one's watching him anymore. He's just locked down there and is just sitting like waiting for someone to find him. So eventually
That's not good for
find
mental
him
health.
when they're digging.
So
The name was Imad al-Nur, Pillar of Light.
Okay, it wasn't
So
as long.
if I get this right, most of humans are descendant of these demigods,
All
which
of them.
in
All of them.
turn are sons of one god.
They are so Olwe, mother of mankind, she created the firstborn. I don't even remember exactly how many of them there are, because some of them don't have names yet. Some of the world building is still very like up in the air for people to, because that's something we really like doing. New people join, and then we are like, oh, like what's something you'd like to cook on, and then we add them to the world building discussion as well as the modding and testing and stuff. So well, she created them, and each of them was given an associated group of humans that they helped her make. They helped her sculpt them. They can't make people on their own. She did, and
but all demigods are human-like or human affiliated.
Yes, all of these ones. The other gods, the other gods. There's 10 of the original gods. The Decadi is what they're called, because there's 10 of them. And each of them also had demigods and their own races as well. But those ones are a lot more weird and usually don't line up with their race in their physical appearance. Many of them are also dead, just like the firstborn. Most of the firstborn died in one specific event that was the day of Red Sun, which was very bad. Lots of them died. Some of them are still alive.
So all races are made by the gods?
Yes. None of them. Let me check. Let me think. Yes, as of now, there is no race that we have cooked up that is not that is just poof. I've had ideas of one that could be in the game that is just okay. Well, here's the watchline.
I have a feeling if any of those existed, the gods and their followers would consider them not to be consider them a different class of peoples because they're not created by a god. Like that would be an affront to them.
Interesting idea, yeah.
My idea would actually not be that they've been around for a long time. My idea would be that they basically just came about now. That it would be a new group that is just finding their way in this world. I won't go into it because it's not something I know for sure. I'd like to do. It's just the concept to be discussed with more team members down the line once it's relevant. But
are they creatures like dragons and trolls?
Yep. There's fantasy, your typical fantasy monsters. Dragons are split up. Leno is the guy who has he's not involved in like the actual modding, but he really likes cooking up like dragons like lore. He came up with like splitting up the different like dragons into different types based on their color. So they're not just like colored differently and having like different personalities. They're also shaped differently. There's like uh there's a type of dragon, for example, that is just a like the most of the ones that live in the north. So in Vidria is the region. In Vidria, and then north, lots of ice ones, shockingly, and those are hydras. So they're ice hydras. Is primarily what those ones are.
Ooh.
There's also very rarely, they're almost all dead, shockingly, because they lived on a giant steppe. Dragon turtles. So big ass, like there's that Final Fantasy game. Leno really likes Final Fantasy. I'm sure that's where he got it from. There's a giant turtle in a Final Fantasy game. Giant like turtles that are just like moving hills. Most of them died eventually because like they can't hide, so people would get together in armies to hunt them down. Almost all of them are gone or asleep, and people just don't notice. There's one place where there's a city that's built on top of one, and people just don't know. There's theories about it. They just don't know.
So the dragons were also made by a god then,
They were
and all the animals and so forth.
The original dragons. The very first ones were and yes, they were the gods like created all those things. But the original dragons were those were demigod-like because they were pieces. Board, you got sound coming through your mic, like TV or something.
Oh, it's yeah. I don't have a mic, but
the dragons that originally were around, and some of them are still. Some of those first dragons are still around. They came about because of one of the gods who was had the form of a dragon / hydra lizardy thing with innumerable heads. You know, perfect like like weird like you can't comprehend this kind of thing unless you're a god. Like looking at her would have like made you go crazy. Because she just has like an infinite number of heads. So when she was destroyed and shattered, those different heads all became different dragons. And eventually, over time, those different dragons condensed into the different species that came to exist. But those original dragons, what ones are left, are extraordinarily dangerous, and they have multiple heads, often of different types of dragons as well, with their own minds as well. So.
Cool.
So
Well-
the world is pretty vast, but it's just these 10 gods for the whole world, right?
That started out. They created some new ones over time as well. There was a god of storms that was created. There was a god of storms that was created from the the god of the sea and the god of nature. But oftentimes they cover multiple spheres. The god of the sea is also god of trickery and unsolvable puzzles. Enigma. They're referred to as an enigma. And they created a race that's like, I don't know if we're ever going to get to actually properly implement them with models because they're lobster people. So like, oh.
I mean, I think that could be done.
Like, why are you not mentioning them? They're so epic.
You just show a lobster head, just like a full real lobster. Just put it in the image section. Just have a lobster with
just
a
have
hat
the
on.
model of the character replaced with just a still image of a hyper realistic lobster.
Yes.
I think RCM was cooking up some sort of like 3D helmet asset that would just be lobster themed in that sense, which would work.
He had been trying to do that, but
I mean the 3D model in EU5 aren't used as much, only for the UI. And if you go with for CK3, for example, the Warcraft team have a lot of just static 3D models where you can just have a 3D model.
You asked
so
them
I
how
think
they
that would work very well in EU5.
Yeah.
Might
You
be.
probably just have to
I mean,
cycle the color of them or something to give some variation.
ideally, we would be able to like make our own mesh for the like character model and have them just use a different like model for the character, but still have like the DNA system. As
Yeah.
other mods have done, like pretty like they're still meant to be humanoid. They're not full lobster, but I mean, I don't have a design. I don't think we currently have a design.
The notion
Specifically.
behind them is because
And-
they're Japanese themed, so they like the notion is that they're supposed to look like their faces look like those samurai masks.
Japanese lobster people.
That's
That's
right.
Yes.
pretty unique.
And
They're
they live on
Japanese
coasts.
lobster people who boat. They can't breathe underwater, but they boat like no one else.
Mhm.
Someone
Zoidberg is actually a good point.
That's
Yeah.
Zoidberg.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I gotta be going off to have my dinner and stuff, but nice chatting with you all. Glad that the mod's coming along.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you for hanging out, Aiden. It's always a pleasure. You're a very fun fellow
Yeah.
to talk to. I enjoyed
Thanks, you
the
also.
yap of the Godhirsha folks as well.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I don't know
So-
where I find
oh.
this. This is hand drawn. It's not AI.
That's I'm gonna call her out. That's my girlfriend in the stream chat, Celestris. Saying was talking about every movie show or whatever could be made better with a samurai. Yeah, this is consistent of her though, so I can't blame.
So in the god lore stuff, for example, if you made an Asian land, you could have a god there, and like they had 1,000 children, so you could have 1,000 gods if you wanted to do that in your lore.
Yes.
So, yeah.
If there was if there wasn't already an Asian land.
No, don't leave. She's leaving. No. Yeah, the god of the sea is named Nohiro. Because he is the Japanese guy. Like he designed the lobster people to be the Japanese people because of the it's just what he was. He though, I've spent a lot of time like thinking with people about the way he looks. And like his design would theoretically, I really would love to get some art of some of the gods that we actually have designs for. He's like the basis of his design is a water. There's some, I think they're called water angels. I don't know. They're like they're these weird like extended kind of jellyfish like things, but like he could swim in the air as much as on the land, and he did many times during the times the gods fought. But his son, the god of the storms, it terrified him, and they fought for a bit, and then he fled. So currently he's in hiding, and he's been hiding for many thousands of years. That's one of the things that there's all these like hidden things in the world that long term the idea will be once we get enough people, then we can start working on getting more of those mechanics in place and events. Figuring out how design wise we want to represent things like that. We'd have these things that are like attempts at making the game more investing for players to stay long term, because then you will sit down and be like, well, I really want to get to this point in time. I want to go and conquer this area or explore this because then this happens, which is kind of neat. I want to find this god because this happens when you do that. Yes, there are. I don't know how the heck to say. I'm going to call you Cause74. Cause, yeah. So, as for the spirits, yes, which, again, this is another thing that was a result of one of the 10. Many of the 10 of the original 10 gods are dead, but one of the original 10 gods was the very first death. And the very first death, because the god of destruction smashed her into pieces, he broke her so utterly that she completely fragmented into different personalities that eventually became the spirits, and those spirits cause new spirits to be born, and so they're all technically shattered remnants of that original goddess Galcordia, but they're so descended from so shattered and broken, like it's not really that much of a connection anymore. But they all spirits have that kinship with each other in fact, because of that, as that's they have no connection to really any other race other than the gods, really. Though technically, I guess one of the firstborn They'd be cousins of the firstborn. The demigods, yeah.
'Cause theoretically, from like a gameplay perspective, even if people may worship like spirits or something, they don't need to like actually exist in
Yeah.
theory, because they're like of the way it works, like same as the anti-tears faith. Just because of them believing on it, it's kind of like that they also create some sort of magical power in that sense. So it's kind of self-reinforcing potentially. So like there's lots of people that might worship things that don't exactly exist the way they worship it. Ulve is worshipped in many different ways, for example.
Yeah, like the people of the Mist Coast on the subject, like if people worship Olwe, yeah, there's different. Well, there's going to be different Olwe religions. Like, Joffrey in the House of On is going to be reverse engineering an Olwe religion that's like him. Like, I don't even know if it should be in her family is the thing, because but like the point is that he loves her still, even though she's done terrible things. And
Yeah,
that still
I thought it
counts.
would be an Imperial Creed heresy that's Ulve worshipping
It's
still.
It should probably be an Imperial Creed heresy, which I don't know what to call that, because like the names of the religions are the Imperial Creed, Mystic Creed, Everlasting Creed, Smoldering
Well,
Creed,
but
Crimson
she
Creed.
gave the humans mortality. It's he's the reason that they are mortals.
She is the true, yeah, the origin of mortality. Haha. I don't know. Oh no, the Joffrey religion has to be the creeds of love. That 100% has to be the name.
Yeah.
But in the Mist Coast, the Fjordlanders in the Mist Coast, whatever their actual name's going to be, but the place is the Mist Coast. They worship one of their main religions, because they won't only worship her, but one of their main religions is a Olwe, religion that is the Mist Mother, because they don't, like, they're far enough away from her, they don't like actually speak to her much, because she lives up at the very top of the map, and eventually there will be a tag there that represents her. Like, you could just straight up play her in theory. I don't know how it would actually work, but that's the idea. But the people here, they're far enough away from her that they just understand vaguely the notion that there is this mother, and she brings the cold, but she's good and she protects us. I mean, she doesn't protect them, but uh, by worshiping her, and following the Miss Mother religion, they'd get bonuses to like bad climates. It'll be a little tricky to set that up properly, but the idea is that by worshiping different gods' religions, you will get bonuses if they're a god that's associated with a certain climate or some such thing. Uh, so the ocean religion, that's self-explanatory. You get better ocean related stuff. Olwe will cause you to be better at surviving in the cold climates, because we intend to make a worse Arctic. Don't know what it's going to be called, but there will be a worse Arctic climate, and there will be a type of Narrows topography, because there's the Narrows uh, ocean topography. There's going to be an ocean topography that is up in the north, like along a lot of the north of the world, that is just called that'll be called ice flow, and it's just absolutely, it's going to be absolutely abhorrent. There's a terrifying version of Narrows that is like super damaging to your ships to be in, and they'll freeze over all the time.
Do-
And yeah, the spirits.
do the setting have like typical Christian demons, or is it more like Lord of the Rings or Greek mythology, like there's an underworld with monsters but not really demons per se?
Lord of the Rings style. There's
Even in Afterlife?
I don't know. I mean, I do know, but
yeah, it's not something that is like big feature. Okay, but like it's not a big part of any of the faiths. Like where they're like, oh, we gotta worship Ulve so that we can go up to her when we are dead.
Well, people have different beliefs. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We could
I
make
know
a faith that has something about afterlife, but it's not like
I'm not telling everyone what the actual answer to how death works in this setting is.
I think I have an idea, but like I don't need
I
to.
probably told you a little bit at some point. That's
Yeah.
something I talk with. You gotta join the team so that you can get involved in the lore discussion, and then you can learn the secrets. Oh my goodness.
But then I can't ask the viewer questions.
But you still, whenever Joffrey's around, like like basically what we're doing right now is like what I've done with him for the like last half year. Where we just, sometimes we just sit and talk about lore, and then we encounter a conundrum, or I encounter a conundrum that I get super hung up on, and then I'll try to find a solution.
We have talked so much about linguistics. Part of the reason that the I know, I think Aiden was like, oh, when he saw like the language family. Oh, that's religion family. He saw the language families and was like, oh, it's like yeah, we put this much effort into them. And it's like largely because Mags and I will sit down and he'll be like,
Why do they speak
that
German?
makes no sense, Joffrey. That makes no sense at all. And I'll be like, okay, what if we like give them a dialect? Would that be okay? And then Mag starts like violently shaking, and like I can hear him like grinding his teeth. He gets very, very angry. He's a very aggressive person. It scares me sometimes.
Yes, I have beaten you multiple times.
He comes
Verbally.
over. He beats me. There's so much, like we'll talk about dialect, like just during the preface, I think no, it was the immediate aftermath. The immediate aftermath of the ModCon, he saw that like something to do with the Florin language and stuff, and he was like, I didn't know that's what it was. We need to change that. And I agree with it.
He
But still, it's
currently,
funny.
he currently has a dwarf speak the same language as the mist people. But like, what? They're not even connected.
It's gonna be changed. We had the dwarf
Yeah,
conversation.
we
Max.
had the dwarf
Dwarven
conversation. I know.
But
we
maybe
were
they
thinking
are
about making
connected.
We're thinking about making the dwarves Armenians, I think, right?
Yeah, so the dwarves are gonna be based in Armenian. They're gonna be based in Armenian pill. So their basis is gonna be Armenian. But the dwarves are because one of the weird quirky things about them is like first of all they're like intellectual, like they would describe themselves as intellectuals. That's the kind of race they are. They will be like,
Yeah.
well, as an intellectual myself, I can understand why you humans wouldn't understand this. You see, we had a debate that lasted for 15 days and approximately 3.5 hours after the fact during the second session. And we determined at approximately 7 hours that this is the case. And actually, you were wrong. And flatbread is the inferior form of carbohydrates. And you'll be like, what the fuck is a carbohydrate?
I think I'm a dwarf.
Yeah.
But look, they can't speak that language for that.
So yeah, but so the dwarves they wouldn't be like, of course they don't talk like that. They'll be like grumpy. Yeah, they're short nerds. They'd be like in the like the deep dwarven voice, just not like it would be much more lines of, I see that you have misconceptions about who the true intellectual in the room is. You are approximately 157 years too young to be able to have a proper conversation with me on the correct way to array swords in a cabinet. But my mistake. You won't live nearly that long. That's more like the type of thing we're dealing with here. So they reinvent the wheel and stuff all the time is their point. And there is the one group of dwarves we haven't actually got like dwarven ethnicities yet because we haven't figured out how to like actually make people short, if it's even feasible. But the point is, the one group of dwarves we have on the map, it's purely because of a meme. RCM, who was in this chat for a bit, came up with them. He was just like, I want muffin dwarves. And I was like, yeah, that works. That like, you don't need to tell me anything else. Muffin dwarves, that's all I need. That makes sense for how dwarves work here. So the muffin dwarves became as a result of that. The Republic of Mufrin, because the dwarves are so memey, they're not like grudges. It's not like a grudge thing, dwarves here. They debate. And so the Mufrik dwarves came about because at one point the dwarves in this place here, in the perfect empire, there was a succession. And the debate that was to be had over who should be the heir to the empire, who should lead it into this glorious new age, was based around the subject of what is the superior pastry? So all the heirs had to debate They literally had to argue and convince the gathering of what the objectively, not even opinion, the objectively superior form of pastry was. And the muffin people lost, among with many others. But they were so angry about losing this, and this happens all the time with stuff just as inane as this, that the heir of the muffin, who is the muffin party, packed up him and his followers and said, if you won't support the muffin agenda, I'm going to leave, and we'll start a better empire where we do things the correct way.
Yeah.
And so they set up shop in the French lands and taught the French people how to make fucking muffins. and they hate baguettes.
Personally, I like silly dwarf. I like Warhammer dwarfs, but I think generally dwarves should be silly and be about craftsmanship.
I have to object here in that muffins are technically not a pastry.
Cake.
So, throw this
They're
person out.
I'm leaving now.
So they're right to be shunned by all the other dwarves because they're objectively wrong.
Yeah,
Not pastry.
that explains it even more.
Actually, Eric is clearly he is dwarf. That right there, that was a dwarf argument right there. Actually, technically speaking, this piece of paper here, verified by these various experts, claims that the definition of a muffin is not a pastry. It is made with breading, however, and the dough rises. However, this is not technically a pastry due to this and that reason. Therefore, you are disqualified from the debate. Honestly,
I'm gonna
might
be
even
honest.
if that's true, I might even make that like the actual canon answer.
Okay.
That he was so pissed off because he was literally just barred from the debate because people told him he was disqualified for not being a pastry.
Okay, honestly, if there's like a modern day equivalent, it would be insane to watch like 12-hour debates over like live streamed between dwarves talking about like random nonsense. It'd be so funny.
Is a cherry a fruit or a berry? That sort of thing. Yeah.
I think it's a fruit, isn't it?
I honestly have no idea.
But on the topic on portrait and dwarves, do the portraits work different in EU5 than in EK3? I thought they were kind of the same.
It's the same base system. However, it is cut down, and for example, there is not a simple way to reduce the height. Because the portrait is only the upper body. There's no legs.
But
Really?
does it work different than it does in Victoria 3? Because I thought Victoria 3
Victoria 3 has a height
equal.
variable that you can change. Well,
But
we have not
EU5.
found a height. Yeah. When
that's
I was
weird.
looking into it, that's what I found out. It might actually be a thing that we could get Paradox to add back in. But Victoria 3, think about it, they have full stature, right? They show legs. EU5 never shows legs.
Mm-hmm.
The max you can see is like the upper, like the what is the belly button? Belly
I
button,
think
yes.
so.
That's like the maximum you can see.
Which is where the struggle comes from on how to do dwarves. Because theoretically, we almost, because of the fact that dwarves are like they're small, but you never see like low. We might theoretically be able to do it by just
Changing the portrait location.
Well, I
for
mean,
them.
just like making them like bulkier and
Yeah.
or something and bulky, and then just like give them dwarf looking face features and like have their cultures have more like the facial hair, the appropriate facial hairs when relevant.
You would need to be able to make them wider.
On the subject,
Which we also can't.
we can't.
We can't.
Yeah, you
But,
could
we can't
make
easily
it
make them wider.
more ridiculous, like I think like Warcraft kind of dwarfs, where they're really bulky.
We need to find some sort of way to cartoonicize because it probably otherwise it won't look dwarfy.
Yeah.
But we will have to see. I
I
had a look into it and I thought I was like, oh, this is complicated. I'm not gonna. deal with it too
You
much.
should ask Paradox if they can add a height
Yeah.
variable, because I
Yes.
think they would add that.
Well, the thing is, for them, it doesn't make sense for vanilla. And with, like, theoretically, if it's too much,
But
it
they
breaks
want
the
to-
system
they want to
because then you
support
can't see the
the-
upper body anymore. It's kind
They
of
want
the
to-
point that they are all at the same spot. Sorry.
Yeah, but they want to support modders, so they might
Yes,
just
they
do
might,
it for that reason
add
alone.
this. Especially since it exists in engine, it's just something that they have to explore. What the fuck is that Congo line of ships?
Oh, what the hell? Oh, it's a colony. Yo, they're colonizing the empty tiles here. That's
Yeah.
all of city people. Hell yeah.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, what is that mountain range? Was it just a mountain range that survived the
Yes.
This
It's
The
that
tall?
great.
this is the semi-abandoned brainchild of one of the original people. That would. Oh, it actually makes these show up. I wonder.
There should be dragons there.
I think Western dragons are pretty dead because there were so many adventurers in Western because they
Yeah,
invented adventuring.
um,
So all the dragons are dead.
there's very few dragons down in like Vestrand itself, yeah. But this place was the mostly abandoned brainchild of one of the original people who was cooking on the world building and such, Darkest Light. His notion with this is that this would be a section of OPMs that live on the cliffside that would each be a city and in a defensive alliance international organization, and that they would be focused on trade, that they would like manufacture stuff and then export from here. It would be really, really wonky to make it actually function. Also, we sometimes throw unused wonders here. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's the location for bug fixing.
See, the idea, the concept for it is cool,
Yeah,
but like
kind of
making
a
that actually work
coastal
is great.
Switzerland.
I
But
think
also
the idea was the inspiration was like Pueblo or something, where they're
Yes.
living up in the mountains.
Yes, that was his notion, the Pueblo.
But I guess they are Germans, so like Switzerland works as well.
The opposite of landlocked Switzerland. Canos. Is it Ca? Yeah. Chaos. I don't know how to say your name,
Chaos.
man. Chaos.
But it's chaos.
Chaos. Chaos. Yeah, that makes sense.
No,
Chaos.
not chaos.
Chaos.
Is there any in the Lucia equivalent?
Oh, you did
Andalusia
ask that
equivalent?
earlier, yes. The
Yeah.
Andalusi equivalent is the Leventian culture.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Leventian culture.
Because they the Leventians speak Empalmese. There is
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
true.
a Leventian Empalmese culture that speaks Arabic. That doesn't exist. We need to fill that gap. Mozantiri is fully Centauri. We might need to make that one Empalmese as well, so that they are more
so.
Andalusian in that sense.
Muzantiri should probably be that
My-
culture.
My
where,
thought here
um,
is that we switch it out so that we have two cultures. Maybe we use both Mozantiri and Buharati, but there's like one that's Centauri, Al-Nuri, and Empalmese speaking, and one that's Centauri, Al-Nuri, and Al-Nuri speaking.
I want to move the
Oh, Centauri
Buharati
speaking.
to encompass this
Yeah,
area as well.
exactly.
Much better, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
Laventia's really mixed. Their cultural influences are long term. Once they've been like they're already a little messed up, but the long term it's going to be even worse. Once more people have once
Yep.
Eden has gotten his hands on it more, but he's always busy with stuff.
They're kinda Republican Muslim Spain. Kinda. I think it's the
Except
closest. Like they're not
You said kinder?
well, kinda because there's like obviously other
Oh.
influences.
Oh, I thought you meant like kinder as in like they're nice.
No.
Right.
That's not
At
what I'm
Game Start,
necessarily
they're
saying.
going to be like horrendous.
Yeah.
These people are going to be nasty at Game Start. Though
I'm saying that,
Yeah.
they're not fully it, but that's kind of the idea that I have in my head when I'm thinking of them. I'm not thinking of them as Andalusia, like Al-Andalus. They're more of a Spain that's Muslim.
Laventia at Game Start is going to be one of the most just terrible things to play, period. It's going to be absolutely horrendous. They have barely anything cored, including not even their own capital. Their land is split, where they're not even the majority religion in their country. And a ton of their land is mob rights land that they conquered a while ago from the Kingdom of Mabras, the Rock people. So all this stuff is going to, like, it always right now revolts really early, and Laventia becomes this tiny, like, broken remnant tucked away as all of the tags that I set up, because I actively set up a bunch of tags that are not owning land that can be released once they revolt. And then what also happens, so that like all of those people revolt, and then the mob rights declare the mob rights like independence movement. So then they go to join Mobris, and this whole place gets fucked. And it's all the fault of the
So
ruler
what?
at Game Start. He's like he hasn't been set up yet, but there's a guy that's going to be like absolutely horrendous who's in charge. That's made everything worse, and they'll have a government reform that stops them from making subjects.
So what you're saying is it needs more events and more disasters.
Yes.
It's not meant to be survivable easily.
Yep.
If you do it, it's like chatting. If you watched ModCon and saw the Battalion Order mod, it's kind of like that probably.
Is it meant to be the like you're expected to not survive but try to come back later?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It's the Byzantine of this mod.
Except
probably
with,
actually.
except with 8.8 million people.
Every single one of them is
8.8 million people, and only.
Because it was this reason that I would like to
mute Eric. I might need to mute Eric.
That's not math. But why is
There, muting Eric. Only how many is that? That's 13%.
On the topic of pops,
10%.
one thing I really like about EU5 is that you have a society of pops. Have you done anything with that?
So Society of Pops are a nice concept, but until they actually get worked on, they're not going to be anything really. They don't do like anything at all
Society of
in
Pop.
vanilla.
I have I was gonna say I have like 800 hours, and I don't know what it actually is. Like, how does it? Is it like a building based country type thing, like a tag listing?
no, they're like okay, like you can. What it is
They're
what
a
I've seen is that
pop-based
you
country.
can switch. Yeah,
Okay.
you can like they exist, but they don't
So there's
like.
it's a tag that doesn't own land,
Yeah, they exist.
but it
based
has
on
pops
pop.
under it. Yeah. Okay.
Because
I've
I
not
was
seen that, and I've colonized actually, but I never encountered any of that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't notice them because they don't even like
Yeah.
fight back against you or anything.
I remember you did have like lots of ideas for societies of pops, but like if they don't really do anything,
Yeah.
then there's no point in implementing them.
Exactly why I'm sad,
Because
because
that-
I wanted to
that-
make a bunch of
it's like-
societies of pops that would exist in Vestron because of the minority cultures that have scattered around the place. But now all it would be is like it would just be some tribal pops. So like they need to be tribal pops as well, I think. So it just doesn't work.
That's tough.
It's kind of similar to what Victory had, where they were kind of vaguely going to make them playable-ish, like replace the colonized land in Vic 2 with basically empty land that technically represents people.
Mhm.
Kind of a similar thing.
But here there's
they
no
did
way
in
for them to
EU5
become
with the
settled.
Society of Pops.
There was no way
Yeah,
in this,
but-
like in Vicky 3, if they beat, like if they fight a colonizer and then win, they become settled. Here that doesn't happen. There's no like way that they even fight a colonizer. Like all that happens is you're just colonizing, and if you happen to look at the Society of Pops map mode, you'll see them and then they'll disappear. Like they never like attack you. You'll get some events that'll like piss them off maybe, but they'll never do anything about it. And even if they did attack you, they're useless.
I think you can declare war on them. Like I remember in the Cahokia playthrough, like people did it. Like they did that. Like they would attack the Society of Pops, but
Yeah.
like you have to attack them, and colonizing just ignores that. So
I was just thinking that a Society of Pops would be a good stuff for monsters, like having a Society of Pops with Minotaurs. But if they don't attack, then it's kind of useless, I guess.
Is there
We're
any
gonna make some
building-based
building-based
nations?
countries for things like eventually we have this idea to make a type of building-based country that's a crime like organization.
So
that's cool.
like a mafia thing.
Whether it like
Or
a combination of mafia, pirates, bandits, that sort of thing. So that they'd have like a selection of really like just haggard buildings that'll so they both damage the local people in some way, maybe give them a little benefit as well. So it's like a little trade off. Sometimes, maybe with some of their buildings, they'll build up some infrastructure that can be useful, but usually they just hurt you. And then they give the owner of the building something. Like in the case of one example that we had is like we want to make gambling hall a thing, and like that would theoretically, which is funny because I work at a casino now.
Mhm.
The gambling hall would do something like it would probably give you a penalty in the local area if you own the land, but it would also give it a boost of some sort.
Oh, in terms of building
Pop
these countries, I
satisfaction
remember
on the stuff.
Pop
the
satisfaction for
guy
the peasants
who-
down, pop satisfaction for the nobility up.
Oh, I thought pop satisfaction for the peasants up because they like gambling, but then unrest goes up as well, so that they revolt more easily. Like, if they're happy there, they will get more happy. But I might counsel it.
Tuport is not. Yeah, Tuport is not the Portuguese. Caliz is the Portuguese.
It's called Porto. Okay.
What's called Porto. Tuport
speaking
is
of building
like,
based pops.
they have their language is based on being like a very literal language. We're still like working out the details on it, but the idea is that it's the Concordian culture is a very literal language where it's like it's the ultimate Creole language where it's just like a bunch of compound words. That's is
You mean French?
for some reason really easy to learn.
Yeah. The thing is that it's a city that was settled by like originally owned by like Latin-speaking Silver people. There's Germans living next to it. There's French people next to it. It's on a big trade river and essentially the second capital of the empire. So over time, some sort of lingua franca has developed, and its own like Concordian culture. It's kind of the idea. And the way it's represented is like in the typical fantasy, like, I mean, for like right now at least, we're thinking of making it just English, but like very simple English with fantasy names. I was saying that a big thing they have is that they use compound words. They have like a limited word pool, but they are able, like a big feature because they're next to Germans, is that they use compound words to form new words out of the limited word pool, which makes it an easy language to learn. The grammar is simple and it's like 200 words.
Do the pop speak the same language as the nobility?
Depends.
In this case, the ruler is Badneric, so he is the like proper German from the old empire.
Yeah, but I mean, like there is a court language and there is a pop language.
So we have not set that up yet right now. We might make it that there's a Badneric nobility. To be honest, that might make sense.
The yeah, especially with culture being split between the estates now, it's much more feasible for us to be like, oh yeah, a lot of places would just have a Badneric nobility. Badneric nobility, Mombre clergy, Concordian merchants. Fuck you. You screwed.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of places around here
nations.
are Concordian like tags that are like full of Angvalder, like the German people, and so a lot of them end up swapping to the culture if it doesn't convert easily enough for them. Sorry, Board, go ahead.
Yeah, the Alki guy said he's planning on having like fast food-esque building-based countries, like based off of like, like fast food chains. Yeah.
We have a thought which is not finalized and not guaranteed to be anywhere near implementation, but that we want to expand on the good side building-based countries as well to make it more than just banking potentially.
Yeah. Sure, the crime stuff, but also some like good
companies. Because the reason is that capitalism gets invented a bit earlier. The dwarves are very inventive, so they might invent capitalism, earlier, and then there's a dwarven company that's doing company stuff.
Okay. So is I am curious.
Theoretically, the idea is that there are going to be at game start already some dwarven building based countries that have like 5-letter acronyms as their name.
Makes sense.
And then other people obviously adapt on that.
Will there be
I
a
could
goat
see,
man?
I
in
could
the
see
mall?
like once if like a city's burgers become like prominent enough, I could see them like I don't know, I could see like a building based country spawning that represents like a cartel, like a basically an organized they're like effectively monopolizing the trade in that region or something like that. Like
When
you could
burgers
see
have a
Yeah.
lot
what
of
Guild
power
Canada.
in EU5, they can make some buildings that give them more of the like the trade and the value of just money in the area in general, and also make it so that it's harder for pops to promote faster. It's kind of funny. They simulate old money being entrenched by having like if the burgers are rich and they make these buildings, they'll reduce the speed at which your pops promote. So the only pops that'll like become new burgers are like the children of old ones.
How does this work? If I'm curious about this. Like if there's burger trade capacity, you imagine you make a building that employs 1,000 burgers that you can build in foreign countries that gives you more burger trade capacity, but the burgers are like it's foreign building. So like you build it to give your burgers that you're employing in the building more trade capacity. So essentially they are stealing the state trade capacity for themselves.
I have no idea how that
Would
would
that work as a mechanic to like would you get that money from that burger or would it go to the burger state of the
It-
country that
so
it's in?
you're saying like you would make a building in someone else's country that would be like 1,000 burgers employed there, and it would just modifier wise be like plus this much burger trade capacity.
50% burger trade capacity from
I don't
location.
know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then would it go to the like does it when it calculates burger trade capacity, does it count that it's your burgers that are trading and not
I still
their
don't know how
country's
burger trade
burgers?
capacity works. I still don't
Yeah.
even think the
Me
burgers
neither.
made the money from it.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know that you wanted to do it at some point because the market like range was shit, but I guess I fixed that now. So I'm not sure either.
But well, not sure what else we should yap about right now. But eventually, I do need to go have my nappy time before my shift tonight. So, oh, that's right.
Will there be a goat man?
Chaos was asking about some things earlier, and I did not get to them. The how was gunpowder invented, and okay, let me statement of a McDonald's East India Trading Company. Is gunpowder? Actually, I don't know. I don't think we've come up with a specific answer of gunpowder, but firearms, like the actual answer of like who's invented guns/cannons, we do know that the lead people, the Plumrions, or the lead people, and they exist in the far west of Mirova.
Are they also kind of a stone people?
Yep, they're
Yes.
literati.
Yeah.
They're the same race.
They are stone and metal people, so they live
Yep.
like
Yeah.
marble, sandstone people technically, some are iron.
The people who are metals,
Silver, gold.
the metals are higher in like society in their like opinion. They used to be in a big old stratified society, and the metal people were at the top. Is the point? But it's less of a thing now. Just a little bit exists. Hence why the marble people were administrators. Sandstone people were the laborers, but the sandstone people are almost all extinct. The iron were the warriors, and the gold were the leaders.
Silver was like fine crafting or something, right?
Silver people were separate. Yeah, they were never in Aureus.
Oh, they were not. No, yeah.
They tried to keep them to themselves and do like philosophy stuff. Like they sat around and did like Greek philosophy things, but they're Latin. That's why the place was called Serenitas, because it was just like peaceful and tranquility, and they would discuss the finer points of what it means to live a fulfilling life and all that. Meanwhile, they would just ignore all the human tribesmen that would live around them. It's like, oh, look at them. Yes, they're quite dangerous, you know. We
How
don't
does
talk about
the
the
stone
Mercury
people?
people. We might eventually talk about the Mercury people. There's also rock salt people.
No,
There's
no
people-
uranium people though, sad.
How does the stone people look like? Do they look like more like marble statues, or are they more like humanoid, but with like this stony skin? So they're like pebbles and stuff on their skin.
that second assessment is correct. They have blocky features with silvery hair and chunky, like there's like cracks in their skin kind of thing. Like picture more like the Thing. It's kind of like that, but sometimes you'd have like pieces jutting out more.
Which I have not been able to represent
Hell
yet
no.
properly. Like right now, they're just recolored humans.
Well,
Bit more fat. They're all fat
they got
for
that,
the DNA.
they got that boxy face. So
Yeah.
we actually I've been mentioned that after Serenitas fell and the Silver People were like a lot of them were killed. A lot of them fled to eventually get corralled into essentially this reserve. Like basically it's treated like a reserve, Argynval, this republic of just they try and carry on and consider themselves to be prestigious and such, but their spirits are often broken. But this is finally a chance for them to potentially rise. You know, they're just surrounded by people way stronger than them in most places, but yeah, surely they'll be fine. And you have
But are all of them in that republic, or are they like spread out in the Concord?
a lot of them are scattered around as well, but that's the largest clumping of them. There's also Argentia, which is north of the Concord. It's past it. And Argentia is a duchy. It is a monarchy because there was I don't know their backstory yet. More so than there was a Argion who was a strongman leader kind of person because Serenitas itself was a republic and that's why Argynval still is. But Argentia was founded by a strongman leader who took people north after the fall in search of the origin of the River Ser, because Serenitas was built on the River Ser, which the region of Ser Mora is named for the fact that it is the lands between / around the rivers Ser and Mor. But they went north up into the mountains in search of the origin of the River Ser, where they build their self a new city, which they did. They called it Argentia, and over time, and it is in fact a mountain that is silver. It is a mountain tile. It is a wood, and it is silver. These people eventually, as more and more tribal people just moved around, they eventually ended up getting like inundated with some of these Tarkovid people from the north because of migrations. These Slavs came in, and eventually they interacted enough with these people to adopt the Lithuanic language. So the Argovani, because silver, the Argovani are the Romanian kind of people, where they have a Lithuanic language language, the Argovani language, thanks to that, which is just some fun Tolkien-esque cultural / linguistic movements that I think really adds to something. But this is that point in time where it's like Argentia is their last hope, really, and yet for the Argion people, and yet everyone around them is like they're just too strong. They're in a really bad situation and will probably die on like every game.
They need to form an Erebor and Dale situation.
That is something we've considered.
A question.
Like we talked about the idea of making them be allied to some of the people that share their religion, because they're Imperial Creed, and there's some people near them that are also Imperial Creed, so maybe they'll ally them, or maybe we'll give them a different religion that's representative of like while these guys in Argynval took the Creed, maybe these guys will be like the old Argion religion still. I don't know. Sorry, Board. Go ahead.
This is out of context. This is out of the conversation, but like, do the Muffin Dwarfs have Muffin or GOs based around that?
No, there aren't the Muffin RGOs. As a matter of fact, it's horses.
It should probably be wheat,
Probably should.
We
so that they can at least produce
Berries.
baked goods.
berries.
Oh, but what the
There's no
fuck?
berries.
What
There's
do you
like
have
fruit
game
and
here? What is Joseph doing? Oh, because it's woods. Oh, never mind. It's the.
yeah.
It's like yeah, you go hunting in the woods. There's lumber and wild game. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and the saffron here. The that's one of the things that's special about the Vale of Florin is that they've got lots of saffron flowers and then beeswax along with it.
There's actually only like one beeswax there, but
Like
yes, it's
three,
kind of
I thought. No, just
or
two.
two. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and Svesiv, the guy who was doing all the RGOs, actively, because he knew that Joffrey was from House of On, he actively made the RGOs worse in House of On's lands, and he put like.
I don't think he did.
Yes, he did. Look. He
did?
told me he did. He told me he did. In fact,
Oh,
he did this on
okay.
purpose so that I would see like he put the iron right at the end here, right at the edge of their borders, and then there's saffron right there. So he's like, "Where you get the beeswax?"
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny. He's funny. That's. Oh, something else.
Is there like a Khiangaol Egypt? Every setting has an Egypt.
There is a
Yes.
the place that is like looking Egypt like is this place, which I mean height map hasn't been done here yet.
Yeah, but I thought that was the Greek place.
It was originally
No.
the Greek place, but the like so this area here is going to be there's potentially going to be a rather substantial realm that is the like they're Kushites, they're Cushitic, like old
Yeah.
Egypt, Copt, that sort of thing. And they're those are one of the original tribes as well. So yes, the Egyptians will get like suitable amounts of love, though it will be culturally from like a linguistic and more ethnic standpoint than the fact that they have this giant river. Giant river here is other people's thing, and there's also a gigantic river is going to be. Oh well, yeah, you can see there's navigable rivers is a thing we're doing, but there's going to be a humongous one over in this area.
You're doing it at least for now. Then
Yes.
maybe there might be a point where we like, the implementation of it is too ass.
Yeah, we're testing out navigable rivers, and if it does not work long term, then so be it. We will just get rid of them.
Since ancient now
What?
destroyed, not Greece, and ancient Egypt is close to each other, I hope there will be an Alexander realm that united the two.
The before the Al Nuri people came out of the basin, the Greeks had formed a very, very large empire. It was one of the largest ones that has existed. It was we don't have a name for it. It's just it was the Thalassocratic Empire. They did it, and they did it by boat. So they conquered primarily by boat. Like they moved inland up along the giant mountain range, up to a large point, like up to the Cushitic Egypt kind of people, and then they conquered along the coast around the east side, and then we don't know what happened from there, if they actually conquered the Cushitic peoples and there's some remnants of that conquest there or otherwise. I don't know. But one thing that's going to be a big deal with the Greek original tribe is that their culture is going to that culture group is going to be very. There's a mosquito. They'll be very small. Like there's be very few of them, relatively speaking, and they're going to be scattered. So you'll have like a very occasional spot where you'll put on the culture group map mode and be like, oh, there's Theocarpin is the term. You'll see like, oh, there's a thing that's like Theocarpin and Cascard. Be like, but it's like to the point where there might be like, one of these small islands would be like one tile with it. like this area here is probably going to get dropped down. The amount of the Theocarpans that'll be here too. Like this is probably too many because they're supposed to be basically gone. Like it's a dying and or dead culture group. But there'd be some like scattered all over. So that'd be neat. Where you can click on and be like, oh, yeah, Helvetic, and you look Hargals, and you can see everything that's the Theocarpan culture group, and it'll be scattered around all piddly like. Heligvid up here, by the way, because I clicked on it, is Helvetic, which is a Fjordlander culture.
Nice.
They are think Kievan Rus, but it's Novgorod. So like it's at this realistically their culture is going to be mixed a lot more, where there'll be lots of different cultures up in here. Where it's but the ruling class right now is the Helvetic peoples, which are the merchant class that has been influenced greatly by their trading partners in the east, as they are one of the one important thing. I don't know, it's never come up yet, but one of the interesting things, the New World isn't lost. I don't know how this never came up. The New World isn't something that's lost and like people need to rediscover it. The east of the world, people know it's there. They just think it's really dangerous because that's where most of the gods lived and do live. So they think that the gods are still fighting over there and that it's very dangerous, so they should stay away. It's only going to be like kind of recently that, thanks to multiple things, one of which is Heligvid learning, finally like getting like proper reports due to like people traveling around. They're like, oh yeah, the gods aren't really fighting anymore. Most of them are just gone. We don't know where they are. What's happened to them? And then people start exploring more, and news starts to get around. But Heligvid is going to have a unique like game start discovery thing that no one else shares with them, where like lots of people, they can see Vestrand and now far down here and stuff, but they can't see like the New World. Heligvid specifically is going to see everything like Prax and North, so they won't see like Laventia stuff, but they will see the western half of Fjordland. So there's people at Game Start who already just are in contact with the Fjordland, and theoretically you could steal maps from them to just see the New World early. It's not like it's this big secret. People just don't really know. In fact, there's going to be a crusading faction that's a remnant on this island here from the Beneric Empire of old, because the Beneric Empire borders were honestly like relatively close to this before the collapse. So there was like a group of crusaders who were fighting against the Reavers, because there was people that come from the New World over here, raid, steal people and stuff, and then go back.
Joffrey, why are they called Reavers and not Viking?
The Vikings. God, it's been so long since I've heard you say Vikings.
The word Vikings literally mean like adventure, or like it's not. It's like knight or a crusader. It's not super in depth to the culture.
Sorry.
It should be Viking.
They're not called Vikings, Curse Kings.
What?
Oh, whatever. They're not called Vikings because kings. Oh, whatever.
That was so bad, man. It took me until now to they're not called the Vikings. They're called because kings. That's so cringe.
Oh well.
Yeah. Like major mercenary companies.
So wait, what was the
Vikings?
I wasn't paying attention at all.
It was a joke about Vikings.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if a setting use knights, crusaders, and stuff like that, then using the term Viking is not strange. But instead, a lot of people use the word Reaver and avoid Viking when there are clearly Vikings. Vikings isn't a people, it's a thing you do.
You're gonna go a Viking. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Just like you are a crusader, you're a Viking, but
I don't know if we will have crusaders.
Well, yeah, they're not going to be called. I mean, maybe they'll be called crusaders. I don't know.
They might actually be.
on the subject of mercenary companies, that's really it's not something that has been thought of, I guess, of like any major mercenary companies with lore. I don't know if like how we'd represent that if there was, because I don't think you can make pre-established mercenary companies yet. It's not something they've made a thing yet. The places that are the centers of mercenary activity are the Junction, which is like Laventia and Palmese lands here. Junction's full of it. They got lots of mercenaries there. And Tuport and Engvald, this area here, is one of the homes of hero like activity around here. So theoretically, one such of the custom types of building-based countries we'd be keen on making is the Adventurers Guild. The Imperial Adventurers Guild was based out of Tuport.
Yeah.
So they would have buildings all over the place, and perhaps they could relate to mercenaries in some way, like giving local mercenary size modifiers and some such things to places with their buildings.
But since mercenaries and adventure seems to be a common thing, are monsters and such also common?
Not as much anymore. It transitioned eventually. It transitioned eventually from being a we need to stop the monsters as the tribal age started to fade away, and eventually became much more of a keep the peace in a we pay you to keep the peace, but you're not really us kind of way. So it became a bit of a so you'd have the Angvalders and the Concordians, and the other major mercenary like culture was the Skargard, which are the Normans. The Skargard, they're not a mercenary company as much as the name Skargard sounds like a pretty cool mercenary company name. I'm gonna hire the Skargard. Yeah, but they were all scattered around the place as the empire was being formed, where these people would be they would be commissioned to secure the loyalty of regions, and they would often set up forts. So eventually there's going to be a type of tag in the Concord, which is going to be an adventurer hold kind of thing, where it's just like an adventurer hold fast. It'll probably like the tag would probably literally have the title flavor of like hold fast of this, and it's just like they just get mercenary bonuses, and are an army based country would probably be how it works. And similarly, there'd be like ones that properly got reined into the government, where like maybe the adventurer holdfast things would probably be a very loosely connected type of vassal of the Adventurers Guild. So the Adventurers Guild tag could like have them just chilling, and make more of them as a way to like consolidate the holdings of their own. But ones that got more closely, these holdfasts that got more closely integrated with the imperial bureaucracy and are more loyal to the emperor than they were to the governor of Tuport. Those would be imperial garrisons, is what those became called, and would more often be Beneric culture. Or Skargard, as the Skargard were the more loyal of the cultures. Other little things like Tumeria is the place where the main Mages Guild was located. Magic is only in recent years becoming codified and properly schools of thought and spell books are being written for real now. And out of the capital of Tumeria is where they'll if we ever get a model for it, we'd put like a tower, a big old tower on this island here, as that's the primary like place where
it's always a tower.
Of course. Well, where else are they gonna fit it on this island? It's gotta be a tower complex.
It's gonna be a palace
underground bunker.
Or Hagia Sophia.
No, I was thinking,
Actually, no. Oh yeah. Who was your
I was
idea?
thinking like a fact observatory type, like to make it look sciencey-ish. But
antithetical
I don't know if that
to
makes
the magic
sense.
versus mundane thing, though.
Yeah, I know that's why I said
Yeah.
never mind.
Fair enough.
I was gonna make a joke about how it should just be like a 20th century office building, but you know.
Make it a
I mean,
pyramid.
With
Honestly?
a pyramid.
Yeah.
Pyramid is interesting.
It's a strong shape.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But not an Egyptian pyramid, like a
No,
pyramid
no,
of
no, no, no.
something else.
It's Benheric, right? Then it can't be a pyramid. It's not a tower. It's just a big cube.
I mean, why not?
A big because the
Make-
Benheric
make-
faith has like the cube is like a religious symbol because the old hammer that like had relevance was a cube.
No, no, no.
Personally.
Make Hagia
This is like a
Sophia,
Muslim
but,
thing.
but instead of the big cupola, make it a square.
A tower palace with an underground complex. Oh, well, you're cooking. You're cooking.
I
Styles.
mean,
I would-
that's just a tower model on the map, though. Like
Well,
that
yeah.
would just be a tower.
But the wizards are in a bunker. Okay, well, so,
Yeah.
so the thing with wizards is
I
that
like bunker.
wizards in like, just spellcasters in general in Khiangaol, they really like rural stuff. They really like rural stuff, and the dichotomy between magic and mundane stuff is oftentimes going to be what the heck is coming from Board's microphone?
It's his brother's
I
tablet.
have no idea what.
Just keep yourself muted if you're not talking.
I'm not
Or,
even
like,
saying
fix
anything,
your-
and it's like.
Yeah, but you can also try and fix your like volume gain in the settings. There's ways to make it more sensitive.
Where?
Voice and
Like,
video
let me
settings on
check.
Discord.
It sounds like your toilet is
You're
leaking.
back.
What's up, my little people?
Just talking about the mod and stuff, plans, world building, all that sort of thing. So with the
Is my landing yet?
no, hell no. There ain't enough
That's
information
something.
about those guys to properly make something for them. So there's just placeholder cultures where they would be at.
Howdy, Mysterion.
Oh, Remrod, I haven't seen you in a while, you
I
know.
know, right? This is
Yeah.
crazy. He's a cryptid come out of the woods.
Well,
Something
I think
like
it's the other way around. I've been living in the real world and not being online.
That's disappointing and shit.
Yeah, I'm old. 35.
I
Oh,
work with a guy who's 35, and I'm his boss, and it scares me.
you should tell him stuff like back in my time and stuff like that.
No. Joffrey, you don't
Misty,
need to
Misty,
mind
we are
him.
we are also just so yeah, we are on live on YouTube right now as well.
Yeah, true.
No.
We're doing. I'm not gonna be doing this much longer because I need to sleep. But just I guess I'm gonna wrap up with talking a little bit about magic versus mundane stuff. Because as it was mentioned, the talking about wizards living in this urban location, wizards usually prefer rural stuff, and a lot of, like these modifiers are placeholders. But it's the vague notion. When you're a magic focused country, you consolidate power more away from the estates. But you also it's harder for people to learn to write and stuff because the more magical your realm is, the more that stuff gets written in magical script, and people purposefully obfuscate things to make it more difficult for the lowborn to read because they don't want them learning magic because it would give them more power. And you get more production efficiency just flat out as you use cheats essentially to produce things more effectively, and just like right now, just extra rural control maximum to represent because they're supposed to be better at it, but this will be changed. Realistically, a lot of the bonuses are going to come from that you'll get from being magic focused will come from buildings, unlike their local effects. This max rural control will obviously be a building that you will make in a location. If you have magic, you'll build the wizard tower of some respect, and it will give you that. But the wizards like rural locations because they can practice their magic with much less worry of causing harm. The liability of that, I suppose, and also there is more connection with the magic and spirits and such in the nature. Easier to get reagents and stuff when they want. The opposite of this, because they do have, it's going to be relatively hard as a result to make urban locations big, like to have a lot of pops in urban centers, because towns and cities migration attraction minus 0.15 is pretty big. That adds up. That's pretty noticeable. And then rural migration attraction up. So like your population thins out a lot more in theory. Meanwhile, the ideal will be that mundane will get the opposite. So with mundane people, it will be, people will all be moving to the cities. And if anything, it'll be harder to get them out. Meanwhile, they get, instead of just production efficiency, it's all just temporary, but they get local access to raw materials as a bonus, which what that does is it gives you a production efficiency bonus based on how much of the production method you have is actually in the province. So Tuport here, their Tailor's Guild has a Silk RGO and Serenitas plus 10% bonus to their production efficiency because they're making silk. They're using silk for their Silk Weavers Guild, and they have silk here. So the mundane people will make better use of that, so they'll be much better at specializing things and making things very good at something in particular. Probably give them unique town rights as well. The urban rights are a really cool system, so both sides will probably get unique urban rights.
Do you think this a lot of settings like Anne Benar or The Witcher have it comes down to like magic versus technology? Do you think the mod will go in that direction? Like there will be like a 30-year-old war or something to compare it to EU5, where a magic side fight a technocratic side or something?
As the game goes on, there's going to be religions that pop up that are more like just opposed to the like that are more like ideological based in that respect, especially in the Imperial Creed lands and any places that are more ideological than spiritual, if that makes sense. That they'll sprout off like that. That's the idea, at least, where a lot of these places that are like the Imperial Creed will have, because the Imperial Creed's main religion doesn't really care much about magic versus mundane. It's not really relevant to them, but there's offshoots that will show up later and become like actually relevant, like the Mystic Creeds, which is a Tumerian thing, and they'll they have progress towards magic, and then these forces will fight it out. The idea, though, is that like a lot of the heresies will already exist at game start, so you can go find them and convert to them like you can with Cathar. But there will be ones that just exist later. Still debate. I don't know what to do with the Joffrey heresy, but it'll probably need to exist a little bit at game start because he's been converting some people to it.
No, we've talked about this. He is gonna get frozen and then he reappears at some point.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
I don't know how we would do that, but that was something crazy.
He's gonna go on some sort of he's gonna go on some sort of adventure. Then he's gonna disappear. The religion is not gonna happen. There might be some sort of story content if you're Avon, and maybe you can influence it to actually happen earlier or something. But then you just reappears at some point because Ulve is the mother of ice. So like, surely she can freeze a follower.
You know what you should do? You should make him freeze to ice, and then you make him a work of arts where he's like inside his eye cube talking to the followers that rediscovers him. And he like, oh, I've been frozen ice, but I had this revelation, so now I'm like a living prophet.
The thing is, he's always had these. He is currently at GameStat a Ulve follower. If you watch the video, the showcase video, the first 17 minutes was from his point of view.
I saw it.
So like he's an old worshipper. So my thought is that he just gets cryogenically frozen so that we can reawaken him later when we actually want the reformation to happen.
Honestly, this reminds me kind of like a manta ray from SpongeBob being like frozen in the tartar sauce, but SpongeBob and Patrick end up freeing him.
You're making a goddamn
Yeah.
SpongeBob reference right now. Oh my god! Tartar sauce being frozen in tartar sauce. What the? Goddamn! Yeah. I really should be stopping this though because I have been working lots of night shifts and I really want to get enough sleep.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have something to snack on, and then I'm gonna fall asleep listening to the like 8-hour video about the Hunter x Hunter Succession War arc that I've been falling asleep to for the past week.